It is that time for another Under the Cult of MS Thursday podcast episode where we just talk random stuff, whatever we can come up with. And we'll start out with doing some Ripley's Believe It or Not stuff. We got Lemmy Killmeister. He wants to help read. He's hanging with us today. Got my blanket on me so he doesn't get electrical shocked. For some reason on this chair, when he sits on the arm of the chair, and I don't have a blanket underneath his butt, friction that he causes with his fur or something just causes it to get very static electric-y. Every time I go to pet him, he gets zapped. So once I started putting the blanket up, and that stopped. So figured we'd be nice and do that for him. He's the savior of 40 million lives. He tried to commit suicide, then killed a man and was sent to an insane asylum. He escaped to become one of mankind's greatest benefactors. Got my coffee. If you got something to drink, drink it. The hero of this astonishing upshot was Dr. Franz Wilhelm Junghun of Mansfield, Germany. After his flight from the insane asylum, he went to Java, where he dedicated his life to the transplantation of the cinchona bush from the Amazonian slopes of the Andes to Java. The bark of the cinchona bush yields quinine, the bitter-tasting drug which is a great value in the treatment of malaria. When the world awoke to the importance of this drug, the demand became so great that its South American homeland was unable to cope with it. The industry broke down before it started. Several attempts were made to transplant the bush to other lands, but they all failed. It was Junghun who succeeded in transplanting the bush to Java, making that territory a flourishing center of the industry. He also improved the quality of the plant, increasing its yield in quinine. At the outbreak of World War II, 90% of the world's supply came from the Dutch East Indies. See, all those troublemakers, give them some time, let them grow up a little bit. You never know what they'll do. The greatest lover of them all. He had 12,000 wives, each a beauty contest winner, yet he risked his throne, his kingdom, and his very life to gain the love of a girl he had never seen. Harihara II, king of Vijayanagar, India, in 1398, had a harem of 12,000 wives. That's got to be noisy as hell. That would be a little annoying. Like, you just call them, hey, you. Trying to remember 12,000 names. Yeah. Each a noted Indian beauty. History has handed down to us a curious description of their respective ranks in the royal household. 4,000 of these wives were privileged to maintain their own stables of horses. 4,000 employed litters as a means of transportation. Litters or leaders? The remainder chose to move about on foot. 2,000 of them had signed a written pledge to commit suicide on the day of their widowhood. The king's stables held 1,000 elephants and 40,000 horses. His daily income amounted to $400,000. The only great failing of his life was when a beautiful girl named Partle, who lived in the town of Mudcull in a neighboring kingdom, refused his proposal to become wife number 12,001. Although he knew her only by her hair, say, to coerce her into marriage, he started a war against his powerful neighbor, Feroz Shah Tughlaq, a war which culminated in the loss of the aggressor's kingdom, his fortune, and his life. He lost everything for the unrequited love of a strange woman. The one thing he retained in death was the loyalty of the 2,000 wives who remained true to their pledge and immolated themselves on the funeral pyre of the great lover. Yeah. One more here. Joseph Bernhard Dossen, director of the National Library in Munich, could dictate 9 letters on 9 subjects to 9 secretaries in 9 languages simultaneously. Dokken was able to quote the Bible from memory, forward or backward. Jeez. Talk about not having a life. Alright. Some good old Ripley's. Ripley's, believe it or not. Uh, haven't been watching too much new stuff. Of course, the wife is still watching Rocky Horror Picture Show every week or so. It seems like. Uh, been checking out. Well, I did finally watch. I mean, I watched it on Disney Plus. I still haven't opened up our DVD we bought like months ago of Deadpool Wolverine. But Disney Plus has it on, so we ended up. Well, I ended up watching it. Least favorite of the 3 Deadpools, I'd say probably. I don't know, I'll have to watch it again and we'll see. But yeah, it was okay, but it's not as enjoyable as the other ones. I know the wife would like it because of Dogpool. She'd have a blast with that uh, ugly little rat-haired, goofy-tongued dog. Other than that, wasn't too impressed. I'm guessing that's why I didn't watch it that quick. It just wasn't grabbing me with the previews and stuff. Uh, Discovery Plus, we've been watching a lot of home shows in the background when we're just going over stuff or doing boxes and stuff like that. And I found a Building Outside the Lines one with a father-daughter combo where they do strange things like putting mobile homes up in the trees and stuff like that. They took a cement truck drum and turned that into a cool beehive house. They did a bunch of different ones that were really interesting. Uh, I like watching that one. I like watching ones where you don't have the arguments going on. Just to watch these people get along and do their job. That's all we should have to do. We shouldn't have to listen to them, listen to their little quibbles. Uh, on Hulu, I tried to watch Hellboy, the Crooked Man. I can't think of his name, but the guy playing Hellboy does not fit the character at all. Voice, physicality, all that, just terrible. Uh, I couldn't. I don't even think I made it 15, 20 minutes in. I tried. Uh, it's just hope was hoping that the witch part would get better. I was expecting to see Baba Yaga, which I don't know if she's part of the whole witch clans and all that they were dealing with. But not that impressed with the thing. By the way, if I get cut off, I'm gonna still post this since I'm already 10 minutes in, just so you know if it has a weird editing. It's because I ran out of space on my hard drive and we get cut off. But yeah, I got quite a few videos on here. I got to get the stuff off here. Get some room back on my hard drive. But yeah, I was excited when I seen. I'm like, a new Hellboy. I don't remember hearing about this one. I heard about some Hellboy something coming out, but never seen anything for it. And then, so yeah, about 15 minutes in, I gave up on that one. And then on Amazon Prime, I checked out Transformers 1. I'm not a huge Transformers fan, but I grew up with them and stuff. Had the fun toys like the boombox, the one that transformed into a boombox, the one that transformed into the pistol. And so I had a few cool ones. But this one, it was interesting. It was enjoyable. I like how these mini mining transformers are pretty much going back after history and trying to learn about some other transformers that are wiped out. But it's like the bigger transformers that are wiped out look like all transformers we know from our past, but yet these mini minor transformers are uh, all the regular transformers. And you got your Bumblebee and stuff, and Prime, and all those Decepticons. But the way they did it, making them miners with their harness things removed, and so they can't use their special abilities, can't transform, can't do stuff like that. And then they learn about what happened in their past and what's going on and who's screwing who over and trying to benefit from everybody else's demise. But there's some racing contests in there and stuff for certain things, and these a couple of the minor characters, about four of them, end up going off into the wastelands where they're not supposed to be to find out more information about what happened in the past, and they find out some interesting stuff. And they deal with the people that are screwing them over. I liked it. It's like a new beginning, I'm guessing, for the Transformers. Uh, I don't know. Don't know if I'd watch more of it. I like that it was all based on their planet. So we had to learn more about the Energon and all that stuff. But other than that, it kept my attention, whereas all the past Transformer movies, the newer Transformer movies, I can't get into them. I tried, I think, two of the Transformers video games, just couldn't get into them. So it is what it is. Uh, Other than that, I've been getting some indie comics lately that you pay 10, 15, $20 for, especially if you go to shows and stuff like that. And I've been really disappointed lately. And I like that the indie comics aren't packed full of advertisements, so they might actually equal themselves. But you look at the bigger name comics, and like every other page is an advertisement, or every 2 pages you'll have a 2-page ad after it. But you're getting 36, 42 pages, something like that. After advertisements taken out, I'd say you're still got a good 20 pages of material, whereas a lot of the indie comics that I've been picking up lately are 12 to 16 pages of material, and you're paying 2 to 4 times the price of a regular comic. So you should actually be putting out a nice, thicker storyline. It's like as soon as I start to get into the story lately on a lot of them, the story's over. And it's like, gotta wait for the next issue to come out. And they should be putting, in my opinion, at least two of the issues together to make one comic, because we're not getting deep enough in the story sometimes in an issue. And then just being left hanging there, just waiting for the next issue to come out. And with the independents, a lot of them, they can take up to 6 months or longer to come out with their next issue, which is crazy. It's like I did a Kickstarter, I want to say a year and a half ago, probably, where I'm supposed to be drawn into a comic, and they still haven't even announced that they're doing that next comic. So that's kind of worrisome when you spend 100 some. Okay, remember, oh, I can't stop yawning now. Can't remember if I spent 100 or 200 or what it was to get drawn into it, but it was a comic that I was really looking forward to because I'm gonna hopefully be killed in the comic. But we'll have to see when it comes out. But yeah, it aggravates me. It's like if you're gonna focus on an indie thing, an indie comic of your own, and it's gonna be an ongoing run, you got to put out at least 2 comics a year, 2 issues a year, and make those issues with enough pages that it's worth the value. Don't give me a story that's half-assed and nothing comes to completion during it from the past issues or anything like that, and we're just going into the next step with not really knowing what the purpose is or what's happening. I want I want my creators to put more effort in. I don't think right now is a good time to half-ass it. I don't think I mean, with the whole Diamond bankruptcy and companies worried about where they're gonna go and how they're gonna connect with pre-orders and all that stuff. Coffee is cold. We're done with that. But you would think they'd want to be doing more to grab the stragglers, grab the people that are thinking about changing from one comic distributor to the next. And then you got like my last unboxing from Keenspot. Keenspot carries a lot of people I know, carries their product, and I ordered from them. And this is the third time now that it took forever to get my order. And this last one took 2.5 months. And I bought the stuff for a promotional giveaway for my YouTube channel, which thankfully didn't happen yet. I haven't hit my 225 subscribers, so I can start promoting my 250 subscriber giveaway. But yeah, I wanted to give it 5 Gemini boxes full of comics that are indie comics and friends from friends of ours. And so I placed a big order and had to contact them. I think I sent them at least 5 emails. 2 of them got responses. And it's just, not the way to run a company. Not this day and age, not when everything's at a standstill and people are wondering where they're going to get their products from here pretty soon. And it sounds like someone is buying Diamond and taking them over, so that should be squared away soon. But it's still a hassle when you can't even go to your independent companies and place an order in this day and age and not get your order within a week tops. I mean, Christ, I go on Bezos's site and place an order for something, and the truck's here 5 minutes later. It's like, what the hell? Guy just guys just build another plant down the road or something, the distribution center. It's like, it's crazy how quick you get stuff from some of these places, and I don't need it that quick. But they got it, so you take advantage of it. But you should be doing the same thing in comics. You should be wanting your product out there as much of it as possible and as quick as possible. Would make sense to me. But I think we're just at a lull right now in the comic book industry. Hopefully they'll get their shit together and figure it out. Other than that, I'd just been busy because of being kicked out of the house. We found a house in our village that we live in. So I put an offer in, and then they countered, and I countered again, and they countered again, and I finally accepted it. Went and seen the inspector today while he was inspecting the house. Uh, and I'm happy. I was really happy because the house that I'm buying was built in 1920. It's got like 1,500 square feet. There's a renter upstairs. It's like a 1 bedroom, 1 bath upstairs, 1 bedroom, 1 bath downstairs. For some reason, the idiots downstairs painted the tub and they used the wrong paint. So it's like a weird flat black type paint. It's a biker that lives there. And pretty sure it's a friend of mine that the name's clicking, but I gotta see their face. My MS, I'm just, even facial recognition is terrible lately. Uh, but yeah, I'm curious who the renter is upstairs because I signed a contract saying I'd let him stay for at least 2 months, so they can have time to find a place. But we know what it was like the past couple months trying to find a damn rental or something to buy, and it's like it's a seller's market right now. It's not a buyer's market, so we're getting screwed there. We're paying more for a house than we should. I should have got this house for about 50,000 less. But overall, what I'm going to pay for my mortgage with insurance, yearly taxes, all that stuff, all included on the loan price, uh, it comes to less than what I'd pay for an apartment anyways. And then we got a renter upstairs and she must be paying 550, which I'll allow for now. But if she does stay beyond like 4 months or so, I'm gonna probably bump her up to 600. But that way it pays for half my mortgage, and I can put that money into the house. It's got a little chunk of roof that a tree branch must have fell on and knocked the side of it off, and there's some water leakage going on into there. I'm gonna seal all that stuff up just to stop the leakage, and then get someone in there and get it boarded up nicely the way it's supposed to be. Other than that, and you got exposed electrical stuff. I mean, they pretty much started remodeling the place. Remodeled the upstairs to turn it into an apartment years ago, but they half-assed it and never really finished. I mean, I got to put like railings on the stairs going upstairs. I got to put. Actually, I don't want to. I want to rip it all off because someone had the right idea by putting the wood siding or the wood wall paneling, the wood slats they're doing. But the way they put them in there, they're all different levels and angles, and some are sticking out, some are nice and flush. There's gaps in between some, so some are missing pieces. So I'm gonna probably rip all that out and then just go drywall. Screw it. Go the easy way. Drywall works the best. Got any uneven walls and stuff, it's just easier to drywall it. Tape and mud can cover up a lot. Uh, yeah, some exposed plumbing and stuff that they had to repair. That they cut a hole in the wall to repair it, but never patched a hole. You got lots of plaster in there, so that I hate that plaster shit. So that will all get ripped out eventually. I'm gonna have a lot of work ahead of me, but it'll be nice because I can gradually work on it myself, or have some friends come and give me a hand with it. Because I have a variety of friends in the carpentry business, so that's nice. I just wish I had a plumber and electrician in the group, but other than that, like the sump pump, the float on it was laying down in the water, and there was water in it, but the basement is so nice and dry. I was so looking forward to seeing it today because we had a heavy rain yesterday. So I'm like, okay, see what happens, see how bad it is. No water. The sump pump was half, three quarters full, and it wasn't draining because the float was laying down in the water. So I'm gonna have to, and that I'll fix myself. I'll get down in there and dig that out and get that hooked up the way it's supposed to be. A couple other basic line issues and stuff. I'm gonna have to put some PVC in a certain area. Our downstairs sink has a S trap instead of a P trap, and going out to a 45-degree drop off, and instead it goes down, up, and then down. And when you have that S trap, if you run a bunch of water, it'll flush it right through. You won't have no water left in the P trap, and then you'll get a sewage smell in the house, which I can deal with and just put a little water in the P trap every time I empty the sink. But I I want to have the shit done right. So we'll rip that out and get that fixed. Rip out the downstairs tub. Probably put a walk-in shower type setup in there. The flooring in the downstairs bathroom is missing, so I'll get my buddy Nick in there and have him do a quick flooring job there. Living room floor, you got your uneven spots and your squishy spots, squishy, squeaky spots. I'll have Nick look at that and we'll see what we can do. But otherwise, externally, I gotta replace some eaves troughs that are pushed in too far, so the water's going right over the top of them, and you can see the little water indentation in the ground where it's overflowing from the roof. But thankfully, it's not pushing into the basement, so that's a good thing. So yeah, all basic items, and then the garage doesn't have electricity to it. It looks like they are just running extension cords out to it. But I'll sit there and have an electrician run one line. I got two spots in each of my breakers in my electrical boxes. Two slots that I can add stuff to the house with. So that's nice. I can run one line out to the garage off the upstairs, and then I'm thinking about doing something down in the basement, adding some more lighting down there so I can sit there and work that out also, and then I don't have to bring in an electrician to do a whole new breaker box. But yeah, it's fun. Fun buying a home. Lots of paperwork, lots of headaches, lots of not knowing what the hell they're talking about. But I'm just happy the inspection went through without any major issues. All stuff I can gradually fix up as we live there. Let the renter stay for at least 6 months if she wants to, and see how it goes. If it's going great and we don't need the upstairs yet, we can always let her stay longer. But yeah, it was a risk, but worst that can happen, can't make my payment, then we get kicked out, start over. It's no different than being in an apartment, other than you might have something on your record that you lost your house. But yeah, it's just a crazy time right now. It's like you're gonna pay 12 to 1,500 bucks a month rent for an apartment. Might as well buy a house if you can find one cheap enough. That was the hard part. We got lucky finding this one and jumped on it right away before it even got into the market. So, but yeah, I've been rattling on long enough. I can't think of anything else to talk about. So we're done with the inspection part. We'll see what happens and see if next time I talk to you, I may be a first time homeowner. Uh, just wish I could have bought my family home. Can't believe my siblings are such jackasses. All right, keep following Under the Call of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Check out Crimson Cull Comic Club for our group podcast, and we will get back with more of these soon. Take care. Have a great rest of the week. Have a blast this weekend, and we'll be back. Bye.